50 here. We're going to do a quick video on two new products, for me at least, the Ghost extended slide release and the Grip Force beaver tail adapter. Uh, Two parts that have helped me out tremendously in shooting, and if you have larger hands, help get rid of that Glock slide bite. So we're going to do some shooting and some thoughts and opinion on if they're worth the price. I feel so far that they are, but we're going to do some shooting and see the pluses and minuses of these two products here. So real quick, guys, I wanted to go over a couple installation tips on both of these products. As you can see, I have the slide lock back here on this stainless Ghost extended slide release. If you have your grip stippled, make sure you grind down that edge there just a little bit. It's not absolutely necessary, but I noticed it grabbing just a little bit on there. So I went ahead and just ground down that corner there just about a centimeter, and that let it float around freely. One complaint that I've seen already, and I've read it on the internet, you could see that weld line a little bit on there. That doesn't bother me at all, but some people I know that might bother the hell out of you. It's actually not, this piece, this hump there is not welded to that lever. It's all stamped out of one piece of metal. But I think what happened after the machine stamps that hump up in there, maybe it crimps around the edges here, crimps around the edges a little bit, so they just throw a little bit of weld on there just to strengthen it up, make sure it doesn't snap off on you. But that is one piece of metal with just, like I said, some extra weld thrown on there. I think just to make sure it stays stable. Again, something that doesn't bother me, but it may bother some other people. This beaver tail. I wish I would have read the instructions before, but I didn't think it was really too much to it but to install it. Right here, when you actually buy this one, you'll get an extra strap here that's kind of serrated. I chose the smooth version. I chose the smoother version. So you're getting 2 for 1, and they'll give you 3 pins in there. Now you have to use the pins that came in here because you get a little bit of extra length to make sure it stays on there. The top one is the OEM Glock pin, backstrap pin here. So you can see it's a little bit shorter than the Grip Force adapter pin, which is necessary to keep the grip on. And what you want to do now, after you take that pin out, you don't have to take any of the other pins out if you're just installing this one. Go ahead and pop that pin out. And instead of how I messed up the first time is I put the strap on and then tried to put the pin through. It's kind of a little bit of a pain in the butt because you have to give it some force to press in on it as you're trying to hammer it down or push it in. One good tip is to go ahead and slide that pin through first and get it even on both sides. So you want even amount of pins sticking out on your left and right. And then all you have to do is go ahead and grab your beaver tail strap, and then it'll snap on there. Much easier than trying to put the strap on first, then the pin. It'll click right on there, and then go ahead and even those pins up so you have the equal amount on both sides. I believe they do have these in black as well. I just bought the stainless because I polished my barrel, so it kind of matches. No big deal. Aesthetically, that's the only reason why I did that. But this is definitely a great addition. So instead of having to, what we normally do if you're training a lot is bring that weapon up when you're reloading and go ahead and throw a mag in, then use your release. You can actually hit your release while you still have your barrel pointed at your thread if you need to. So there's no need to bring it over here, get your thumb to get enough leverage to press that slide release. You could do it just from this position here and get a nice safe release. So overall, what do I think of these two upgrades? Excellent, especially the beaver tail. This has really improved my shooting. I can get up higher on the grip, and it mitigates recoil, of course, the higher you can get it to the bore axis. So this really helps. I don't have to worry about the slide bite. When you're training a lot, when you're putting a lot of rounds to your gun and you have the issue with the slide bite, it tends to make you flinch after a while. You know, if I didn't have this on and I had to use it in a concealed carry role, I really wouldn't think about the slide bite then. But when you're training with it, you know, after a good 2 or 3 magazines, it starts to get sore, and every time you go to pull that trigger, you get kind of weary because you know you're going to get bit. But this has completely eliminated that. I have no slide bite whatsoever. The slide release is working great. No issues with that. As you could see, this one here has the hump towards the back, but they do make a model with the slide release to the more towards the front. I think it's called a forward slide release. Again, this is made by Ghost, and this is made by Grip Force. No issues with either one. I did modify my grip a little bit, but because on that last round, I'm trying to keep my thumb away so it doesn't inhibit that, so the slide will lock back on the last round. But that will even happen with the factory slide release. So to fix that a little bit, instead of keeping my thumb right on the slide, I just move it over just a little bit. And I'm not sure if that's in the camera or not. I just move that thumb over a little bit, and that helps. And it doesn't hamper my aiming whatsoever. So these two modifications, definitely 2 big thumbs up. The only cons I could see with this, again, last round, maybe not locking back on the last round with this. It's not slippery even when sweating. Easy to manipulate. You don't even have to bring your, again, you don't have to bring your pistol up to get that leverage. You could do it from this grip if you need to. The back strap, I really don't see any cons to it except for the thinness by the pin here. Hopefully that's in camera there. It's a little bit thin around that area, so I'm not sure after a while of going in and out of a holster if that's going to rip. It may not. It's a pretty hard plastic though, so I don't think that's going to go anywhere for a while. Maybe after a long time it might, but so far definitely good grips, good slide release lock. And on my last video I had somebody ask how the sights are at 25 yards, if they're still on. This right here to the green target there, homemade target out of wood there, it's just under 25. Couldn't back it up more because right behind the camera here, the hill slips up a little bit. So I'm gonna make the shot just under 25 yards here. And there's a Gatorade bottle where the head of the silhouette is. So we're gonna try to make that hit real quick here. Again, I'm inserting my magazine. I could still do this since I'm used to that, and I could do that with any Glock I would pick up. But if I was so inclined to do it, I could rip that magazine out, come straight up, and I'm already locked in, ready to go. See if we got a hit. Might have to get a new tree here. That one's looking like it's ready to fall. You go, guys, burned right through it. It's kind of hard to see. Get my knife out here. Nine mm. Kind of a weird exit hole there, but there you go, guys. It will make hits consistently at 25. That was a little bit quick, but went right for the head. Just under 25, excuse me. So if you're planning on getting either of these two these two mods, I definitely say do it. It's well worth it. See you guys in the next video.